In the blistering heat of Camp Pendleton's Range 400, where the Pacific wind carried the sting of gunpowder and the distant crash of waves, a lone figure stepped onto the firing line clutching a rifle that looked like it belonged in a flower shop rather than a war zone. The matte pink polymer stock was etched with delicate rose vines, the barrel wrapped in a custom Cerakote of soft blush and gold filigree, and a tiny crystal charm dangled from the handguard like a prom corsage. Sergeant First Class Kayla Rosie Thorne, 5'3" in her boots, freckles blazing across her nose, set the weapon down on the sandbag rest with the reverence most Marines reserved for a bar or a saw. Around her, 24 hardened infantry from 1-5 stared, then laughed, deep, guttural, the kind of laugh that said, "This is a joke, right?" One corporal actually wiped tears from his eyes. The range safety officer, Gunnery Sergeant Ramirez, just shook his head and keyed the mic. Next shooter. Thorne, 1 round, 6,000 meters, steel torso, wind 3 left, temp 105. The laughter doubled. 6,000 meters was 2 clicks past the range's known distance marker, a shot no service rifle had ever made on this deck, not even the M110s the snipers brought out for demos. Kayla chambered a hand-loaded 77-grain Sierra Match King, settled into prone, and the range fell into a hush broken only by the snickers behind her. She exhaled, squeezed, and the pink rifle cracked like a starter pistol at a garden party. 3 seconds later, click, the steel plate rang out, a dull, impossible gong that silenced every joke in the county. Jaws dropped, phones came out, and the legend of the pink rose was born. If you love your mom and dad, the ones who taught you to stand tall no matter how big the fight, hit that subscribe button right now and show some love to the toughest daughter in the corps. The laughter started weeks earlier, back when Kayla rolled into the 1st Marine Division's Advanced Marksmanship Detachment with orders cut straight from Headquarters Marine Corps. Nobody knew why a supply clerk from Camp Lejeune, with no combat deployments, was suddenly on the sniper syllabus. But the scuttlebutt spread faster than monsoon rain. Some diversity quota, some general's pet project, some Instagram influencer who'd sweet-talked her way into the fleet. The pink rifle didn't help. She'd built it herself in the hobby shop at Lejeune. Every part chosen for function, every color chosen for memory. Her mother, a florist in Fayetteville, had painted the first coat the week Kayla left for boot camp, whispering, "Let it remind you, beauty can still kill." The Marines saw only Barbie Goes to War. Kayla's first day on the range was a disaster by design. The instructors, led by Chief Warrant Officer 4 Hawk Hawkins, a man whose face looked carved from MRE wrappers, put her on the 100-yard line with iron sights and a standard M16A4. She shot a tight 4 MOA group, respectable for a boot, pathetic for a sniper candidate. Hawkins circled her target like a vulture. "Thorne, you couldn't hit water if you fell out of a boat," the class roared. She smiled, said nothing, and asked permission to zero her personal weapon. Hawkins waved her off. "Negative. We issue the tools here." That night she slept in the armory, running numbers on her phone, doping wind with an app she'd coded in Python during night classes at Fayetteville Tech. She knew the pink rifle, chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor, 26-inch Bartling barrel, Timney trigger at 2 pounds, could reach out farther than anything in the detachment's safe. She just needed one chance to prove it. The chance came wrapped in humiliation. During the unit's monthly fun shoot, a charity event for the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society, the commanding officer, Colonel Laufer, announced a mystery challenge. Longest confirmed hit on a surplus steel silhouette the artillery boys had dragged in from the impact area. Prize was a 3-day pass and bragging rights. Every designated marksman in the battalion showed up with their M110s, their MK13s, their custom 300 Win mags. Kayla arrived late, pink rifle slung like a purse. The crowd parted in mockery. Hawkins tried to wave her off the line, but Laufer, amused, overruled him. "Let the lady shoot." They gave her 1 round, no spotter, no dope card, and a target so far downrange the spotting scopes could barely resolve it. The official range map said 5,200 meters to the berm. Someone had pasted an extra 800 to the steel. Kayla lay down, dialed 187 clicks up on her Night Force Attiker, whispered a prayer her mother had taught her over roses in the backyard, and fired. The bullet took 8.4 seconds to arrive. When it did, the plate spun like a ballerina and fell over. The range tower went dead silent. Then the artillery spotter on the hill confirmed. Direct hit, center mass, 6,012 meters. Phones exploded. Someone screamed, "Holy shit, she just outshot God!" But legends don't hatch without pushback. The next morning, Kayla's rifle was gone from the armory. In its place, a single pink rose and a note in block letters. "Back off, Barbie." The detachment erupted. Hawkins launched an investigation that went nowhere. Every Marine had an alibi. Every camera angle was conveniently foggy. Kayla said nothing, just requisitioned a loaner M110 and kept shooting. Her group shrank to half moe. She started beating the instructors on the unknown distance range. Word reached Quantico. The Scout Sniper Instructor School invited her to guest teach a class on long-range ballistics. She turned them down. "Not until I earn it here." The second twist came during pre-deployment workups. 1-5 was slated for a float to the Indo-Pacific, and the battalion commander wanted a showstopper for the family's day demo. He tasked the marksmanship detachment with a never-before-seen shot, hit a moving drone at extreme range. The drone, a commercial DJI rigged with a steel plate, would fly a racetrack pattern at 5,000 meters. The catch: only one shooter, one rifle, one round, live on the Jumbotron for 5,000 spouses and kids. Hawkins picked his golden boy, Staff Sergeant Valdez, a two-time hog hunter champion with a $6,000 custom rig. Valdez practiced for weeks, doping wind with kestrels, dialing with Horus reticles. Kayla watched from the bleachers, pink rifle across her lap, saying nothing. The day of the demo, the wind came in hot and variable, gusting 12 from the left, switching to 8 from the right. Valdez fired first. His bullet arced beautifully, then drifted 2 mil right and sparked the dirt. The crowd groaned. Hawkins signaled for a second shooter. Valdez shook his head, magazine empty, pride wounded. The colonel scanned the line, eyes landing on Kayla. "Thorne, you want it?" She stood, walked to the line, and the laughter started again, until she racked the bolt and the rose charm glinted in the sun. She didn't dial. She didn't check a kestrel. She simply shouldered the rifle, tracked the drone through her scope, and led it like a clay pigeon. The crack echoed. The drone disintegrated in a puff of carbon fiber and steel. The Jumbotron replay showed the plate spinning away at 5,300 meters. The crowd of 5,000 erupted. Kids rushed the line screaming for selfies with the pink rose. That night, someone tried to burn her rifle in the barracks dumpster. Kayla caught them. 3 junior Marines drunk on liquid courage and internet fame. She didn't fight. She just stood there, 5'3" of quiet fury, and said, "You want my rifle? Earn it." She challenged them to a shoot-off dawn 1,000 yards, any weapon they chose. They showed up with AR-15s tricked out like Christmas trees. She brought the pink rifle in a single 20-round mag. She shot a 2-inch group offhand. They couldn't keep 10 rounds on paper. Hawkins watched from the tower, arms crossed, a slow grin cracking his face for the first time in years. The final twist came in the form of a classified cable. The Marine Corps Warfighting Lab was developing a next-gen precision rifle, but the program was stalled. Too heavy, too expensive, too fragile in salt air. They needed a proof-of-concept shooter who could push commercial off-the-shelf components beyond spec. Someone forwarded them the drone footage. 3 days later, a Black Hawk landed on the parade deck and out-stepped a full-bird colonel with a briefcase. He offered Kayla a direct commission and a billet at the Warfighting Lab, on the condition she bring the pink rifle and teach a platoon of engineers how to think like a flower child with a grudge. She asked for one thing in return. The 3 Marines who tried to torch her gear would come with her as assistants. The colonel raised an eyebrow. "Punishment?" Kayla smiled. "Redemption." 6 months later, the Pink Rose prototype, lighter, cheaper, accurate to 2,500 meters with match ammo, was approved for fleet trials. The 3 Marines, now devoted armorers, painted tiny roses on every barrel. Kayla, newly minted Captain Thorne, stood on the same range 400 where they'd laughed at her and fired the first production round. It hit steel at 6,500 meters. The range tower erupted in cheers. Hawkins, retired now, watched from the bleachers, eyes wet. He leaned over to Valdez and muttered, "Told you she'd outshoot God." Kayla never lost the pink rifle. She added a new engraving on the magwell the day she pinned on her bars. "Beauty kills quietly, and every Marine who laughed that first day now tells the story a little differently. How a supply clerk with a flower gun taught them the most dangerous thing on the battlefield isn't the round downrange. It's the heart behind the trigger. So tell me in the comments, where are you watching from tonight? Quantico, Pendleton, 29 stumps. Or all the way from some small town where your own legend's just waiting to bloom. Drop your city, your state, your AO, and let's put roses on the map. Semper Fi.